welcome back. It's a special little episode. I'm Joshua Furs with Combat Insiders. Thanks for tuning in. We have Omar Molina here. He's going to be on the BKFC 4 card. He's going to be facing Shannon Rich, Cancun, Mexico, only on pay-per-view. Don't miss it. But basically, it's not your typical interview. I just kind of want to give Omar the floor. Just kind of wanted to say a few things and get a few things off his chest, and just kind of wanted to give him the platform to do that. So, Omar, the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, Joshua. Also, your partner, Nick, to give me this opportunity. It's not typical that I'm usually on this end. I'm usually getting the guys prepped. I have been for the last few years, and so I don't want to say I'm out of practice, but I just got to sharpen this skill. When we first were offered this fight, I take it very seriously, obviously, but I sat back and I accepted it on a few different levels, and obviously it's we're gonna get paid, so it's that's pretty good, It also allows me to show my skills. I have a school here in Ensenada. I've had multiple locations in the United States, and we've done shows. I've helped produce shows, and so I think this will add some legitimacy to my career, not only as a professional fighter, as a trainer, but also the way I'm able to organize administratively and operations as far as the production of the show. What we're going to do is we're transmitting here in Ensenada and some parts of California. We're working on a few in Texas and also even in Arizona, where my opponent's from. Where we're doing viewing sites or viewing parties, local bars, clubs, of course, homes, and this platform, the pay-per-view. The magnitude, the international commemorative belt, and my opponent. It gives me the opportunity that very few people not only will have, but people that are in my situation who have, I guess you'd say, been forgotten, a little bit, will ever have. So I wanted to take advantage of every second that I have to not only promote this fight, but even afterwards, what I want to do with the winnings and with the attention that we're getting. Well, one of those things, I talked to your partner about it, and we mentioned it a little bit here when we did our press conference. There'll be more details to come. Is that we are going to start two foundations. One is in the memory of my wife. Rest her soul. She's deceased 5 years ago, this past January 5th. And what we're going to do there is we get to name it. It's not as easy as it sounds. After I started looking into it, I got a couple of lawyers who are helping me with that, of course. In order to help kids who have diabetes or born with diabetes, it's hard enough for an adult to medicate themselves, check themselves, and then for a child, I couldn't imagine what it is that they go through, that their parents go through. But it is something that people can live with. There's no cure for it, unfortunately, yet, and so we want to start a benefit into not only diagnosing childhood diabetes, whether it's, I don't pretend to be a doctor or anything like that, but even if it's just, a flyer or anything that will help, The other is in my mother's name. She was, she contracted polio when she was a little girl. It ravaged her insides and to the point where it complicated a birth defect that she had with one of her valves in her aorta. Her first heart attack, I believe, was about 2 years before I was born. Wow. And then her first open heart surgery, which is the classic surgery, which they actually break the rib cage open and Smash It This Way was in 1977 after she gave birth to my youngest brother. And so as of right now, she's got some sort of about 60% mechanical heart. She's a very, very tough woman. And unfortunately, where we were from in the mountains in Michoacan, Mexico, sometimes there's not access to doctors or medication, and so these vaccines are available, worldwide, and there's unfortunately some places that you still don't have, that availability. So the foundation there is to provide with competent doctors. Again, the lawyers are taking care of this. That's their side, where they can go and donate their time, however way we can help cover either expenses or medication, and for that, vaccines for young children, people who aren't as fortunate as we are, eye exams, dental checkups, whatever the case might be. Again, I know that I wanted to do something, and these two causes are obviously near and dear to my heart, and so that's something that part of my winnings are going to go to. In fact, during our original press conference, I mentioned it, and then I think the interview was with MMA Fight Pass. I actually challenged, my opponent, and then everyone else on the fight card, and even the promoter, to donate something, to any cause that they choose. If it's something medical, if it's anti-bullying, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I'm realizing that how fortunate I've been, and not a lot of people. There's plenty of people who would trade places with me, on the drop of the dime, and sometimes I will, even myself, kind of be like, oh man, I wish this or I wish that, and it's easy to kind of kick yourself around and thinking you don't have it so good, but there's people who are suffering a lot more than us, and so that's all I want to do. I want to be able to pay that back. The third, which is I'm actually using your platform, and I appreciate it very much, thing that I want to announce is that I am formally not changing the name of the gym, but I am establishing a parent company that we're going to start, and I'm following the example of my boxing coach, my original boxing coach, Richard Torres, where we will name our gym, our facility, the Western Athletic and Academic Resource Institute. So the acronym is the WAR Institute. It's for the benefit of children who are born with learning disabilities. I personally have dyslexia. I didn't realize it. It wasn't discovered till I was almost going to be 18 years old. In fact, this is in no way, shape, or form derogatory towards my father, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I worded it correctly. But he started working since he was a kid, raised his family, traveled across Mexico, did what he had to do to give us a better life. Well, my dad taught himself to read before I learned how to read, and if it wasn't for sports, if it wasn't for wrestling, if it wasn't for athletics, it may not have been discovered. And so what we are going to do is institute a mandatory, any child, anybody at a certain age, we're going to start with a certain age and below, for them to come in and train with us. They will have to have a weekly tutorial session. We're looking for some, we have a few already, professors and much smarter people than myself, who will be reviewing homework before they can go in there and jump rope. And it'll start really basic, it'll start really simple, but the idea is that eventually it's not just going to be our members. We'll be able to offer it to the community in general. It's not just the dyslexia. There's some children who are magicians with a pen, with a paintbrush, musically, and sometimes it's hard to identify that and who knows what kind of artist. I'm not comparing myself by any way, straight, by any measure, but it's hard to imagine, talent lost because of the fact that there isn't a way to identify it. And so that's going to be the third cause. So as far as I'm concerned, my paycheck is very limited, and it's pretty much spent. But this is a way that I can, again, take advantage of this platform, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, Premier League, giving me this opportunity to fight Shannon Ridge, a legend in combat sports. Use this platform to share this information, and basically the income to be able to start these things. And it will take me past my fighting career. The boys that I'm training, the girls that I'm training, eventually they're gonna keep the gym. It's gonna be for them, but it's a way for me. I don't like to use the word legacy. I think it's a little presumptuous on my part anyway. But it's a way to keep something going. That whether I'm here, whether I'm gone, that it's going to be a benefit in the future. Mm-hmm. You never know. It may eventually lead to something great, way past my time. But I know that if it wasn't for those few distinct people who were looking out, who noticed that instead of reading it this way or reading it that way, I would memorize everything actually to approach me and let me know, hey, what's going on. I wouldn't be here. I know for sure I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mother fighting through. Same thing. I wouldn't be here. And unfortunately, my wife, it's I don't want to say I wouldn't be here, but before I started running the gym again, before I opened that, she gave me a choice. She was we were pregnant. Well, she was pregnant. She was gonna do all the hard work. I did the easy work. Right. We were gonna formally announce it, and she said, I need you to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, and that you're good, you're happy. And at the time, my job, I wasn't happy with it, and so when she went to let me think about it, she never came home. And so it's very important to me that all these people that have helped, they're the important people. I'm not. That their story needs to be told, and that we're able to move forward. And thankfully, my mother's still alive, my father's still alive. But I would like for them to be able to see that their son who chose this path is violence and whatever, but isn't that way, really. Right. Sometimes people say, I'm the black sheep of the family. My older brother's an engineer. My younger brother's a financial analyst, and I've run nightclubs, and I fight and I train people, but still I think inside I want to be able to show my parents, hey, you know what, you did good by me, and I think this is a way to do it. So. It's a lot more levels, Joshua, than just getting in there, getting some accolades, getting a belt. Yeah. It is important, obviously, but this is more important. And I thank you guys for the opportunity to be able to share this.
I think it's awesome what you're doing, and God bless you, man. That's just God bless you, bro, because it's a big deal, man. Because to be able to help the people, especially like you said, disabled kids, and it's just anything to do with kids, man. I tell you what, I back it 10 million%. And it's a great thing what you're doing, and
I appreciate that.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Like I said, thank you for coming on and sharing that, because it's beautiful, man. I mean, seriously, it really is. So check this guy out. He's gonna be Omar Molina is gonna be facing Shannon Rich, February 2nd, BKFC number 4. I can't say it enough. It's going to be a great show. The card is stacked from top to bottom, and him and Shannon are, like I said, they're going to be one of the fight of the nights. I mean, every fight is a fight of the night. I mean, it's really that good. This is really that good of a card. And check it out. Pay-per-view, bareknuckle.tv. Like I said, Omar Molina. I'm Joshua Furs, and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Josh.